Hi everyone, welcome back to Salty Tarot. We're going to do a love reading. We're just going to see what comes through. For this one, I'm ready. I'm ready to bring back the alchemy deck. It's fairly intense, but I'm going to use it as well as animal cards to get the energy of you and your person in the connection at this time. And then we're just going to see where all the cards take us. I've got a couple other decks that I might refer to over here. And yeah, we're just going to dive in. So we'll start out with the animal cards, which, may I note, is perfectly pliable at this point. It's not too wiggly, still stiff enough, and but it bends easily this way, that way. It's pretty perfect right now. I love it. Okay, well, I haven't even asked the question, so I'm going to put that back actually. So can we please get a card for your energy? For the energy of the collective watching this reading. So this is the timeless reading, meaning it applies whenever you access it. Trusting in spirit to bring it to you at exactly the right time in your life. Whether that be 40 minutes after I post it or 2 years after I post it. And just a note, I am sort of going through, I don't know, some throat chakra issues. Whether that's my own throat chakra issues, could very well be. Or if it is channeling energy from the collective. So my voice has been a little bit weak. Okay, for you we've got Wolf. And then for your person, for the person in the heart of the collective accessing this reading at the time that they do. What is the energy of their person? What is the energy of your person? I'm getting a little bit, no way. Okay, we've got Swan coming through, which I'm just laughing because that was the same card as in the last reading. And I almost feel like I should put it back and get a different card, but yeah, out of this big beautiful deck, I can't believe that's the card that came through. At least I was shuffling on camera this time, assuming that this reading gets recorded and duly uploaded. Okay, and from the alchemy deck, may I just say this is so hard to shuffle. First of all, it's new and the cards are stiff, but also octagonal, not really the right shape for shuffling, but I don't know, I do okay. It's just the bridge shuffle had to be sacrificed. Something had to go. And then it just sort of feels like that was not very good. As long as they're lined up, they're actually easy enough to shuffle. But reorienting them is just kind of like smushing rather than a neat shuffle. And yeah, can we please get a card for the energy of the collective accessing the reading? Please, Spirit, please tune me into the energy of the collective and give us one card. Okay, so for you we've got Venus, that's beautiful. And then an energy for their person. An energy for your person. Sorry, one card to represent the energy of your person. Whoa, that is too many. Should we take that? I'm being called to take that. Okay. We've got Neptune. Creatures of forest and sea. Well, at least this call to dive into the alchemy deck has been... Spirit's made it easy on me because I know astrology fairly well. So even if I feel challenged by the alchemy deck itself, I can at least refer back to my astrological knowledge. Before we do that, let's talk about the animal cards. Where did I put that one? I love that wolf comes before spider in this deck. Maybe it's in order of deadliness, I don't know. It does say the apex predators come at the end, but I would have thought wolf would trump spider. But there is something beautiful and witchy about spiders. I mean, there's something beautiful and witchy about wolves too, actually. Guardian of family and tribe, activism, ritual. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. That happens to be my life motto. When in balance, reliable, democratic, fearless. When out of balance, judgmental, dominating. To bring into balance, practice letting go. So the wolf is coming through is very tied to tradition and sort of conveying information down through generations, so legacy work. And then the swan, if you saw the last reading, you will already be familiar. Swan, effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Sarasvati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated, snippy, lacking vision. To bring into balance, solo time in writing. So the swan is coming through as creative, graceful. Sarasvati is, of course, the goddess of beauty. She's very Venusian, actually, so the swan and Venus go together well. But Neptune as well is Pisces and can have to do with water, of course, it's the god of water and the ruler of Pisces. And it sort of more refers to the watery depths. So, what is under the swan, what might carry the swan. But anyway, let's have a look at the guidebook for the alchemy cards. Venus is pleasure, eros, and beauty. Oh yeah, I did actually find this description of Venus. So Venus can be, in astrology, Venus can be art, beauty, values, money. Any of those things has to do with anything to do with aesthetics. So making things beautiful, making the body beautiful, making situations harmonious, creating beautiful, harmonious environments, with sound, with scent. Anything that pleasures the senses is Venus. And so this description takes it a little bit more towards the Eros definition of Venus. And to my mind, there are astrological bodies that represent Eros, like the asteroid Eros, that are a little bit distinct from Venus. But I really like this description nonetheless. With the arrival of Venus, the senses open as if for the first time. It is the planet of pleasure, of touch, of sensual delights. Venus is often depicted as romance or eroticism between people, but it can also be experienced as an all-out love affair with Mother Nature herself. Aphrodite emerging from the ocean is a classic example of Venus imagery, as is Cupid with his bow. No matter how old or jaded you are, when this card appears, it's a sign that attraction is at an all-time high. The laboratory is alight with love. You may be in love with the work, with the materials, with another person, or with the world itself. Seeing beauty in small moments is a sign Venus is in balance. An obligatory reminder that pleasure and pain are usually found intertwined. Go deeper. Recall the last piece of art that moved you and revisit it now. To ponder, the language of embrace. And it says, when Venus is out of balance, you might find yourself tending towards excessive action that's not congruent with your heart. To get Venus, get physical. Break open your paint set. Or pick up an old instrument. Get your hands dirty. Don't do it to achieve something. Do it for the experience. And then we have Neptune, divinity, mysticism, seeking. Neptune is the mystic's planet. That's interesting because the swan was coming through with mysticism as well. Its transcendent energy projects toward the heavens. When the Neptune card appears, the seeker archetype is activated and doorways to new dimensions open. A voice whispers from beyond the earthly plane, perhaps calling you to a pilgrimage or new spiritual practice, or you may experience a meditative bliss beyond your wildest dreams. Divinity has arrived, whether you call it nirvana, samadhi, enlightenment, or just good old serenity. Amidst your spiritual awakening, remember that ultimately the work is not about you. So this would be your person. A reminder for your person that the work is not about them. The work is about what's bigger than oneself. Stay grounded in that reality, and one is likely to avoid Neptune's pitfalls of narcissism and escapism. History shows us examples of spirituality turn madness, so one should keep one's woo-woo tendencies in balance with a little selfless service. To ponder forgiveness as medicine. Go deeper, pick up a spiritual text that you haven't read in a while, and reread it as if for the first time. Recall the first moment you experienced Neptune's energy, perhaps a godlike encounter when you were young. There is a key in this memory. Write about it today. Write about it with the swan. That's interesting. Yeah, so Neptune does rule art and beauty. Well, Venus rules beauty, but Neptune rules everything to do with artistic beauty. So dance, drama, the stage, that would be TV, movies, anything to do with the entertainment industry. Anything where people are performing for the benefit of others. So or creating for the benefit of others. So, anything like photography, painting, visual art, but also performance art and traditional art such as, bronze casting, things like that. It would all be ruled by Neptune. Neptune also rules mind-altering substances from alcohol on through. And it can, in that capacity, it can call up illusion. It represents illusion as well. It has a lot to do with spirituality and sort of being in spiritual energies potentially at the expense of the day-to-day. So that would be the escapism part of that. And then I thought it was interesting that it referred to narcissism and escapism, because I feel like those come through with the swan a little bit as well. Or at least I did in the last reading. Yeah, there's nothing in the description of it, but for some reason I was getting just kind of this emphasis on like the surface level of beauty as opposed to being comfortable going down into the depths. But your person's coming through as both that sort of, skimming the surface beauty and elegance, as well as, the deeper Neptunian spirituality, bringing forth the gifts from the depths. And, bringing those up to the surface for artistic presentation or merit. And then you over here, you've got the energies of the sort of protective family lineage protecting energy, like transmuting lineage down through generations. And also, the sort of eroticism, like it's almost like it's like the energy of passionate monogamy is what I want to say. And then your person's coming through a little bit more ethereal and a little bit more in like the performative, and potentially with that undercurrent, it's for you to decide if the comments about narcissism, escapism, anything to do with that would be for you to decide if that applies. And so, but you're coming through as like earthy, grounded, yet Venusian. This looks like that piece of chrysocolla that I had for one of the readings the other day, which I just happen to have right here. It also kind of reminds me, in the shape of it, it reminds me of a necklace that I had in high school, which had I don't even know how to describe it. I'd have to get it for you to convey that sound, but it had like a tinkly, that does not do the sound justice. It's like this really beautiful, almost like chimes. It's like it has chimes inside of it kind of thing. And it was set so that there was a pin, and so that it would turn and make the sound. Okay, we're gonna get some, maybe we'll put these kind of up here. Venus and Neptune together again. Tending, that's the word that I was trying to express for the wolf energy coming through together with the Venus energy. The goddess Venus or Aphrodite comes through a little bit fickle, I would say, in some circumstances and some of the myths. But I think the description of this Venus card, together with the description of the wolf, is speaking of just like a very pure, deep devotion. And an instinct to care, to care for this one person. And this one person might be sort of coming through as like wanting to impress you, like you want to care for them and they want to impress you, or sort of be attention. I don't want to say attention seeking, but like get your attention. Like they want to be so beautiful that you cannot help but look in their direction, kind of thing. Almost in like a performative way. With elegance, though. Like not in a shallow way, but just like almost like a soul yearning for your attention is what's kind of coming through. Okay, can we please get a few more cards regarding the current energy of the situation? These cards sometimes come through as advice, but I like them as a diagnostic as well. So, diagnostic function right now, Spirit, please. Can we get some cards regarding the connecting energy between the wolf and the swan, between Venus and Neptune? There comes a point where I start shuffling faster because I'm getting impatient. Patience. We have masked realities. Beyond posing facades and cover-ups, dare to unveil the truth hidden beneath. So maybe there's something about hiding how you feel away from each other, or maybe if this one person is sort of skimming that surface level, maybe there are feelings underneath that are not being fully disclosed. Beyond compare, don't compare your love to anyone else, it's unique. So you might be, at this point, because I set the energy for this to be diagnostic of your current connection, like the current energy between you, it might be that you're both in that energy of feeling like you have a connection with each other that just does not compare to other connections. Maybe it's something that has come through in a way that has surprised you both. Maybe it's, and or maybe there's, maybe one or both of you is sort of going through that mental calculation of, comparing it to other situations. But it starts out with beyond compare. Any other messages regarding this connection at this time? Unexpected joys. Life surprises are gifts, opening doors to unforeseen adventures. So you might be experiencing some unexpected joys with this person. Perhaps they have surprised you in some way, or vice versa. And, maybe they came into your life quite unexpectedly. And perhaps being open to those energies has led to adventures between the two of you. That sounds like really beautiful energy. One last card for current energies in this connection. We might use another deck to get some more information. Or use the tarot for that. One last card, please, Spirit. For current energies. Legacies rebirth. Honor history's remains to restore and breathe life into forgotten tales. So this might be a reconnection between you and a person. If you have been in a pause, you might have some history with this person, and there might be a call to call back in what was good in the connection and use that to reconnect, if that's what's called for. But I just am rereading. So breathe life into forgotten tales. So maybe with this one person especially, there's a call to writing, and the wolf is about legacy as described in the guidebook. So there might be something here where maybe this one is like a documentarian of the legacy that the wolf is, building, or, maybe there's something here of the wolf person has, been amused to this one person or inspired them in some way. And perhaps this one person is breathing life into forgotten tales, to do with, or it might be that maybe the wolf person has shared some about their legacy with this one person, or maybe you're decades deep into creating legacy together. But in any event, there's a call to bring something back. We're going to leave it there with that deck and bring out the tarot. Okay, Spirit, let's, could we please get a little bit more of an indication of the current energies in this connection? Let's, what are the wolf person's current energies? Let's go there. Current energies of the wolf person in this connection. Where it's currently at. How's the wolf person feeling? There we go. How's the wolf person feeling about this connection at this time? We've got Two of Swords, so you might be feeling like there's a decision to be made, or like you might be sort of tuning into, turning off external influences and trying to go internal to feel out which of the options before you is the better option. There might be something that you're not seeing about the connection. We'll take that Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about being very, very satisfied and happy. So you might be feeling very much, maybe you're trying to decide if you are satisfied in the connection. Five of Wands does suggest that she's playing with chess pieces here, so it suggests that there's some like almost mental battles happening. It could be ego, it could be competition between you and the person, or it could just be sort of internal, trying to sort things out within yourself. So again, similar. Yeah, so if this is suggesting that you're trying to figure out how you feel, whether you're satisfied in the connection, then this might be reinforcing that message. Let's get one more for your current energies, and then we'll get a few for your person. Three of Swords, oh my. Three of Swords is heartbreak and, very much feeling the feelings, sort of being in the emotions of feeling hurt. So you might be trying to figure out how you feel about a situation of heartbreak, whether between you and this one person or could be something else that has sort of broken your heart in life. It could be a past connection that you're still processing. But it looks as if you're feeling into the energies of heartbreak and sort of trying to figure out what to do with them. And yeah, let's get some cards for your person. So where is this one? How does this one person feel about the connection at this time? How's this one person feeling? Well, my friends, I am just feeling quite beleaguered almost by tech issues right now. And so I did shuffle out your person's cards and this one person's cards, and this is what they were, and I gave a whole reading about that, and then I moved into what is the highest possible outcome for the connection at this time. And so I've kept those cards to the side because that's when I discovered that we were not recording. So your person came out as the Sun, and I said a lot about this, but I'm just going to try and summarize it because my time is somewhat limited at this point. Okay, so the Sun energies are the energies of play, of innocence, youthfulness, being in the flow of the connection, having seeing the light in the connection, being lit up by the connection. It's often referred to as the most positive card in the deck. And it certainly is a card of just joyousness and things flowing and being just really lovely, like very much feeling the essence of the beauty of the connection between you. And then the Eight of Pentacles is it's like pinnacle. It's like work has been put in and now it's time to reap that harvest, and there's, a fruition. And this woman is both simultaneously painting this butterfly and cradling the butterfly. And so that suggests that your person has maybe they've done some work on themselves within the connection, and it's like they're getting to enjoy that sort of positive flow of energy that's coming out of that at this time. And so that's sort of in marked contrast to how your energy is coming through. You're coming through as a little bit more mental, and I mean that in the logical, rational sense of the word. So, doing this sort of mental calculation of whether you're satisfied in the relationship. And, deciding what to do with what looks like something that has broken your heart, I'm assuming within the connection, but it might be outside of the connection, and, sort of trying to figure out how to integrate that into the connection. And what I did notice is that your person also has the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is a very nourishing energy. So it's the energy of bringing to the connection everything that the connection needs in order to thrive. And so the Queen of Pentacles, she's got all the resources. She's got, and traditionally she's got, she's the element of earth. So she's bringing forth, she's got her little bunny coven in the corner here. She's got a skirt of tulips that's sort of fading into forest ivy. She's got fern for hair. And what I did notice is that she's got, I'll come back to that. But it's like she's bringing in, she's oriented towards you. And so whatever gender your person is, it's like they are in this energy of just feeling very blissed out by the connection. And you're coming through as very in love, but with some challenges, maybe that love is bringing through the vulnerability, and maybe you're acutely aware of anywhere where the connection has sort of fallen down for you. But it looks as if your person's in this energy of just feeling like there's fruition happening, fecundity, lighthearted energies, the beauty, the play, and that they're trying to bring that in your direction right now, and just bring you whatever you need to nourish, maybe something has transpired between you, and this person is trying to bring you out of that heartbreak. I talked actually for quite a long time about how this person has a pink rose and the arrows are sort of going right into that rose. They're crying blood. And whereas this person has a white rose on a tray or in a basket that she's bringing over to this person. And so it's almost like, maybe the arrows that have pierced this person's rose have turned it pink, maybe that's the pink of the blood, of the piercing, of the wounding. And then it's like she's coming in with this sort of fresh white rose to, maybe it's like almost like changing a bandage, swapping out your rose for a clean white one. Or, maybe she's going to take out the arrows and plug that hole with this white rose. And, try and sort of assuage some of that heartbreak. And so whether that heartbreak has to do with something external to the connection, or whether maybe for some of you it's external, maybe for some of you it has something to do with the connection between you, it looks like your person is just very much in the light energies of this connection and wanting to bring you into those light energies as well. And whether you're seeing that quite yet, the High Priestess is coming through as well. The High Priestess can be the energy of very strong passion that is not showing on the surface. And so I was calling out the red of her curtains here. That's sort of that passion element. There's some, roiling sea happening underneath. There's something moving, but it's under her skirt. You're not necessarily, yeah. And I heard it. I hope you heard it too, because that's the salt of Salty Tarot right there. And, I got to find ways to allude to it cheekily without outright saying it. But sometimes I just blurt it out without even meaning to. It came through in a couple of readings ago, and I think had noted it out loud. I think I had to re-record that one too. But anyway, on the second toss, I decided not to overly point it out, but I think I dramatically paused. Or maybe it was in the editing. I think in editing I had put some kind of cheeky exclamation mark on it, and then I know what it was. It was talking about rooting down the connection. And I had to stop and sort of withhold my own titters of glee about that phrase. Anyway, moving on. So she's keeping something hidden. So this one person, whatever their gender, might not be fully revealing the extent to which they're feeling quite blissed out by this connection. And they might be in that sort of Neptunian, like secrecy depths. They might be not communicating that to you. But it looks like they're planning to come in your direction with, tending whatever needs to be tended in this connection. And I imagine you'll probably move into these energies of, feeling satisfied, realizing, which way the scales tip for you. And yeah, I noticed that this person's oriented this way, this person's oriented this way, this one's facing out, but facing, and traditionally the going to the left in tarot means the past and going to the right means the future. So these four people are all oriented towards the future. But she's very much looking in this direction. This person's very much looking, they've got their eyes closed, but their eyes would be looking in this direction. Whereas these two are sort of focused down, kind of away from the connection. And this one's very much focused on her art, but facing the wolf person. So, and then the back of the deck energy was the Two of Wands, which I have salvaged, although we don't have the whole deck now. And so the Two of Wands is about a change of course. It's a change of direction. So if your person has been in these kind of high priestess energies, it might be that they're changing course. Maybe their current energy is a change of course, or the connection as a whole seems to be changing course. And so that's where we got to. I'm just going to double check that we're recording. We are beauty. Okay, so then the next question was, what is the highest possible outcome for this connection given present factors? And it came through as the Seven of Wands. And I just pulled all the rest of the cards when I think I took a break to use the washroom or something. And notice we weren't recording. So then I asked for some clarifiers, because the Seven of Wands, maybe I'll just talk about this before I bring out the clarifiers. The Seven of Wands is an energy. Sorry, there's people moving furniture upstairs. I'm sort of getting lost in curiosity about why that would be. Okay, so the Seven of Wands can be an energy of competition. In this, I've been puzzling over why there's like a circus performer, like this guy is kind of an old school circus performer, like I guess he's showing off his strength, like maybe he's like the strong man of the circus. And as noted by the fact that he's covered in tattoos and his handlebar mustache, he's just got a very circusy kind of feel to him. And what does that have to do with, he's like busting out of a cage, but he's not in a cage. He's got the open sky and open curtains behind him. So like it just has this appearance that he's like prying open something for the sake of impressing an audience, is what I'm getting. And so it's sort of like a show of strength, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. And so, but the meaning of the Seven of Wands can be sort of defensiveness. It can be like wanting to defend something from people who are attacking in the Rider-Waite. But in this case, it's like, it feels more like a wanting to fight for the connection. So whether that's your energies, your person's energies, it's like the highest possible outcome right now is this like show of strength of the connection. So fighting for the connection, bringing strength to it, not like persevering, not ready to, persevering might be more a Nine of Wands, but it can also, it's like there's something to fight for, essentially. And so then, but the modifiers came through as the Ace of Cups in reverse, and I was not satisfied with that. And so I pulled a couple more, and we came out with the Three of Cups, think it was more like this. I'm not sure how I had them arranged exactly, but it was pretty. And now I can't recall. That was definitely down here with us. Maybe that was more like that. I don't know. This is not looking particularly aesthetically appealing, but it was pretty the first time. Anyway, so the Ace of Cups is like that cup has been filled with love and it's turning over. So it's like it can be unreciprocated romantic feelings. It can be feeling unloved, feeling unfulfilled, pouring one's heart out and not getting anything back, an unfair love situation or a feeling of rejection. And so then the Five of Cups came through in reverse. And if the Five of Cups is about being in regret, loss, sort of processing feelings of loss, it's interesting because it came through in the upright in the last reading. It's almost like this is the next chapter of that, it feels like, with this one card coming through again. But this can be a shift towards, like, the processing has been done. There's been acceptance. There's a focus now on forgiveness, emotional healing, moving on, healing old wounds, learning from the past, letting go, potentially. And, you know, sort of finding out what the gift is of, you know, maybe that Three of Swords moment of, maybe that's already happened and that's, you're in this energy of finding out what the gift is. Maybe there is forgiveness that needs to happen in the connection. So, you know, like maybe you've been in this energy of feeling like something was not reciprocated or not right. And then it's like, you know, it just focus on I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but there might be a call here to focus on forgiveness, on letting that Queen of Pentacles come through with her white rose, to replace your, you know, pinkish rose that has been pierced by arrows. The Three of Cups is the energy of, it can be energy of celebration, community, gathering together to, gathering together with friends, having like, it's sort of like a great friendship, celebratory energy. There might be a call to like rely on community, fall back on community in the connection. Seven of Swords can often be a sneaky energy where there's like a level of deception happening. And over here we've got some eggs in a tree, we've got some birds flying over here, and then there's like this, you know, snakish creature is sort of stealing the eggs away and like creating her own little nest over here, or maybe she has her own little nest and she's, you know, I'm not sure why there's eggs here and eggs here, but it, you know, there's definitely an egg being cradled as if it's been thieved from one of the nests and repurposed to the other. And so the Seven of Swords is like sneaking away with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So maybe the snake is in the process of stealing all the eggs from this nest. That nest does not look like it could hold all 7 of these eggs, and they're huge. But maybe the nest is deceptively large. Or maybe it is just always the right size for the right number of eggs that are in it. For some of you, and this will only apply if it's something that is already familiar to you, that you already know about. So maybe with that heartbreak, maybe there was some third-person energy in your connection. And so if that's been the case, you would already know about that. So I'm not saying that that applies if it's something you have to stretch to make fit. But if that is something that you're already aware of, then it could be that there's been, you know, like an attempt to conceal that. So that might be the sneakiness of the Seven of Swords energy here. Is Three of Cups can sort of refer to, like, you know, there's two and then there's somebody else in the energy as well. And possibly there's like an attempt to hide that or be sneaky about it. And maybe that's part of the processing of grief that's happened here. Maybe that's part of the heartbreak. And so it's sort of, I'm almost seeing like this is, you know, the tale of the past of what's happened. Or maybe, you know, maybe one or both of you has been distracted by, this could be also like partying, you know, going out and like having a good time, maybe at the expense of the connection. So if either of you have been in those energies, and maybe there's, like some Neptunian attempt to sort of deceive about that, and that has resulted in this heartbreak, but it looks as if the heartbreak is being processed, and and it's completely for you to decide whether to accept that Queen of Pentacles offer of the white rose. But it looks as if there's some desire to fight for the connection here, is what I'm seeing. There's like some strength coming through, like a show of strength, a desire to pull through and ensure that, like the Seven of Wands, like you get the sense that the guy in the Rider-Waite Seven of Wands, he's sort of like being attacked from below, and he's attacking back, but he's in the position of strength, and he's not going to give ground. It's like there's a potential loss of territory. Oh, if this is your situation, then it might be that there's a wolves are quite territorial. Maybe there's like a desire on your part to fight for the connection and to sort of mark your territory. Trying to envision what that would look like with a wolf and a swan, but my mind goes to places that I should not speak aloud. In any case, so maybe there's a desire to fight for your person. That may be something that fits for some of you. And if that's not the case, then I'd say like the Seven of Swords is, maybe there's something that has been hidden in the past and that you're coming to terms with. And maybe part of that is falling back on friends, falling back on community. Maybe that's part of what is helping you process your grief, get through. And then, if this is something you've decided to walk away from, then the Seven of Wands might suggest having the strength to rebuild, having the strength to set your boundaries. Seven of Wands can also be about setting boundaries and, putting limits in place and having, the community support to adhere to them. So that may be an interpretation that makes sense for some of you. I'm going to clear these away and ask if there's anything else that Spirit would like you to know. And then I'm going to end the reading, as I have to shift into other motherly things at this point. So Spirit, are there any last messages for the collective, for our wolf collective and their swan person? It sort of looks to me as if there's like a decision that you are trying to make, and this one person is, very much feeling the light, the connection, and wanting to bring that your direction, and then it's for you to decide whether to accept that energy from this one. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So maybe you've been in a connection for some time and you've been through it together. So any last messages, Spirit, for the wolf and this one? I keep flipping out and going back in, but I'm going to take that one because it is the lovely Two of Cups. Anything else, Spirit? Any last messages for the wolf and this one? I didn't actually see what the other ones were, but I did see that Two of Cups. High Priestess in reverse. We'll get one more. Any last messages for the collective, Spirit? We've got the Nine of Swords. That is a curious one. She is pretty close to being lightning bolted. And on the bottom we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Well, that's interesting energies. Can you see that Ten of Pentacles? So, I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but there it is. Okay, so Two of Cups is the energy of harmony, connection, merging, a relationship. If you haven't been in a connection with this person, maybe it's like a long simmering thing that's been going on, then the Two of Cups would be that moment of coming together and merging, commitment, deciding to be, not necessarily commitment in a long-term sense, but deciding that you're both in it. And, the communication, the harmony that needs to happen in order to, it's like the decision stage where you're like, I like you too, let's hang out. Mwah! It's that stage. And the High Priestess in reverse could be, maybe that was being kind of kept under wraps and hidden, and maybe now it's going to be spoken. And Nine of Swords is about anxiety. So it might be that there's still some lingering anxiety about, maybe there's anxiety about going into that connection. Maybe there's anxiety about whether to verbalize the desire to go into that connection. And I'm sort of taking this as an outcome. It was just I just asked for last messages. Is there anything else that Spirit would like you to know or focus on in this connection? But the Ten of Pentacles is, one of those long-term relationship cards along with the Ten of Cups. And it keeps popping out in these readings along with the Ten of Cups, which has been really beautiful. And so Ten of Pentacles is like legacy energy, building a family, building like generational wealth, and that's not necessarily referring to money. It could be like the wealth of having a family, having roots, establishing something that lasts for a very long time, down through generations. And so I'd say that potential is there in the connection. One or both of you might be still in this energy of like being kept up at night, wondering if you're going to be able to get to this point. I'd say with the High Priestess in reverse, there's a call to come out of the shadowy depths and, articulate that Venusian love, that Neptunian romanticism. And, that's what will lead to, like, Two of Cups is really beautiful, twin flame, soulmate energy. And combined with the Ten of Pentacles, that's combined, that's soulmate energy for sure. But, that can be really frightening. And so, take it slow and trust in divine timing as always. And I'm sort of feeling like I need to just cover my bases with the High Priestess in reverse. Just take another peek at that. It does refer to it. One thing that's coming through is sexual tension, but it can also be not listening to intuition, or not, a call to avoid saying or doing things just because you're being pressured by another. So if there is any pressure, again, your choices are your own, and these potentials being here doesn't mean that it's necessarily right for you. Only you can decide that, right? So if you are someone that's setting boundaries, and wanting to, if you're considering, not pursuing things with this one person, then, that would be within, like, there might be something in your intuition that's coming through telling you that that's what's right for you. And if that's the case, do heed that. On the other hand, if this is like a simmering sexual tension that needs to be given voice, and, maybe there's some anxiety about giving that voice, I'd say doing that is going to lead to a really gorgeous, beautiful outcome for what that's worth. But again, listen to your own instincts and not to a tarot reading on the internet. Figure out what is right for you and, quell those anxieties from the inside out. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for being here. This has been really beautiful and very interesting energies coming through, and so different from reading to reading. So I just wanted to get one more out while the nail polish is still good. This is, I have to say, it's incredibly tempting to pick at because it's three-dimensional. They're sort of chunky, like the gold flecks. I mean, they're poking out at odd angles in places, and I just want to so yeah. Thank you for being here. It's been a lovely reading for you. It's been so good to get back into tarot and the readings again, and I feel slavishly devoted to it. And yeah, speaking of compulsion. And so please do like the video, leave a comment, let me know, which of these which of these energies are you holding with? I would love to know. And, let me know your interpretation of the Wolf plus Venus over here. And and if you end up in a Ten of Pentacles situation with your Swan person, please let me know. That would be really lovely to hear about by way of gorgeous universe feedback. And so please do subscribe. That'll alert you to the next time I upload a reading. And and then anything that you do in that regard helps the channel. And I'm very much trying to grow it at this time. And so thank you for just being here and, giving your energy to this reading. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.